It was all a dream, but yours is about to become a reality. Hi, guys, I'm Angel Holmes, and this is the Never Stop Dreaming BIGGIE podcast. Each week, I'm bringing you conversations that really matter, from solo deep dives to episodes with my husband, Brian, and featuring incredible guests who are building businesses, creating communities, and making an impact. We're keeping it real and sharing what actually works so you can make your biggest dreams happen. Welcome to Never Stop Dreaming BIGGIE. My name is Angel Holmes, your host. I keep on forgetting to do that this month, but we are at episode 11. I cannot believe it. I'm so excited. I always say that. I cannot believe it. I'm so excited, but I really am. And I can't believe it. I'm like every time, like, how have I done 11 of these or 10 or 9 or whatever? But it's been such a great month. And it's funny because it's not even really the month. I'm pre-recording these and it's not even the month I'm going to be airing them. But the whole month of May is dedicated to just faith and believing in things. I feel like the biggie, our biggie, B is for believe. It's number one. You got to believe. And last year, my word of the year was believe. And it really made a difference. I had it on my desk. I had it in front of me everywhere I was. I saw believe. And it really works when you have it. If you don't do a word of the year, I highly recommend it. It really helps you stay focused on something you want to focus on. My word this year is freedom. Being free of everything out there, anything, any cares, worries, all of that. But believe is a lot like that. So believing in stuff is super, super important. So I started out the month talking about faith. Brian and I knocked it down, went to town, share with you our faith journeys and a little bit about the Homestead Bar and the faith impact and what we're doing there. And this week, even we just did a bonus. Well, we did a bonus episode end of April about this, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about it, just involving me and my faith in some ways, because I had two wonderful guests sharing more about this topic. But really, it's such a controversial thing. Some people believe it, again, just like faith, and some people believe it, some people don't. But it's, in my opinion, this is the real deal. We're talking about manifesting. And manifesting is really just controlling the mind. And we did talk about this, the mind is such a powerful thing that if you don't take control of it, it will take control of you and it will rot you with all, it wants to keep you safe and protected. That's its number one job. And so it's going to talk you out of things, but it can talk you into things that are not true, that will get you off track and that will make you not believe in things. So you have to really, really get into your mind and take control. It's just our job. So we got to do that. And so our guest earlier at the end of April, Conway and Rebecca, were great and they have tools for that and they're really amazing. They've been amazing for me, but I just want to share a couple of cool things for me in general. So I do believe the mind is such a big part of my journey. And I always believed in something, right? I had that bubble around me. I had God with me at all times. That's a belief. You know, you have to believe that. Not everyone would believe that, but with everything that happened to me and how it happened and what has happened, there is no way I'm not believing. There's just too much that's happened to me that it has been supernatural and not of anything around me that's happened. But the really cool thing has been the mindset shift on two levels. One is the negative talk. So for so long, I felt like I was unloved and unwanted and unneeded, and I would feed myself back, you are unloved, you're unwanted, you're this, you're not, all, gosh, the mean, awful things I would say to myself all the time. It's so sad. I really, really hated that about what I had to go through, but I had to go through that. It was just part of what happened. I was going through so many hard things. It was hard not to have those thoughts, but I had to train myself. And I went through so much counseling. I went to intense courses. I got really deep into all of this, and I let it go. And I just was like, free. But it still comes back every so often and it will come and be like, that you can't do this or you're not made for this or you're too old. That's been a big one lately, is you're too old, because I'm almost 52. There is no such thing as an age limit, but gosh, man, sometimes it'll creep on you. And especially when you start having pain or I'm going through menopause, I'm like, oh my gosh, can I do this anymore? But you have to like train your mind to know that's not the truth. The truth is I'm loved and I'm awesome. And all the things you believe about yourself or you want to believe, you just keep telling it over and over and over. And the more you tell it, the more you believe it, the more it happens. And I love, and it's used all the time. I love this story of if you want a car, if you want a certain car, let's say it's a red Porsche or a black Porsche actually would be a good car for me. If, yes, I want a black Porsche. I'm going to manifest that. Actually, I don't want a black Porsche, but those are nice cars. So you just start seeing them everywhere. You're like, oh my gosh, there's one again. There's one again. That's because it's in your mind. It's something you want and you start thinking about it over and over and over again. And 95% of the things you think about are done unconsciously. So you're sitting there in your mind going, black Porsche, black Porsche, black Porsche. And then boom. And that's what you focus on. And the more you can focus in on that thing, the more it can become a reality. You have to obviously do certain things to get that black Porsche. But if you believe that you can get a black Porsche, you can get a black Porsche. I need to stop talking about black Porsches because maybe one will show up in that would be amazing. God, you're welcome to do that. But I am also not a big car person. Like I don't really like nice things because I want to be able to scratch up my car or dirty my car. So I really don't care about nice cars. I just want safe, reliable cars and I don't need to impress anybody's. Anyway, black Porsche though, that would be pretty nice. Anyway, I'm just getting off track here. But let's talk about manifesting. And there's definitely been a lot of things. And and some people also say fake it till you make it. Well, you're not faking it till you make it. You're just working really hard and believing in something really hard. And I have loved the tools again that Rebecca and now Conway have given me in her journal, but I use them all the time. And one thing I started to do before I was part of the manifestation mastery course Rebecca does is I started having visions of the homestead. This is my most recent one. And I've said this for the last 10 or so years, this has come in my head. It started out just like a little idea and it started getting a little bit more clearer. And I would even be like, I was in a place in New York and I was opening up a menu and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And this is what I want this to be in the Caribbean. Like this is part of the Caribbean. And this has been super long time. But I still remember that moment because it tied kind of vision of it tying back into my other visions. And so it's been like going and going and going and going and getting more and more clear. And then I started doing this manifestation where I would literally do a lot of deep breaths and we just did one with Rebecca, but deep breaths and really like getting true and into it and to the spirit of it and believing in it and thinking about it and to the point where I was seeing it. So now I have seen the homestead clear as day over and over and over again. I can tell you the color of our door where Brian and I are going to live. I can tell you what the house we're going to live in looks like. I can tell you what the bungalows and the bar looks like and the features, even the staff around me, the music playing, the smells. It is so freaking cool. I can totally, absolutely see it because I absolutely believe it and I'm working towards it. I am thinking about it. So I think for me, the cool thing about manifestation is it does tie back in my faith because every time I go into that place where I'm thinking about things in this level in my mind and really getting into the deeps of the mind and all of the things you need to tell your mind, I can get there more and more clear because I believe it. It's just such a cool thing. So I would just say with your dreamy big, with your biggie dream, try this. Try what she's got this free seminar. Try her program or try somebody's program where you go into your breath. So when I go in my breath, the first thing I think about is Jesus. I can see a set of stairs and I walk up to the top of the stairs and Jesus is there and he's got my hand and he pulls me up in this big bright light and he brings me down into the Caribbean and we're in this. So the cool thing is when we start visiting the places, I don't know if I'll see the exact same place. I mean, if I did, I'm going to freak out, like literally freak out. I will go live on Instagram and be like, holy cow, this is what I've been envisioning. But I've been thinking I'll probably see the skeleton of it. There'll be something there'll be something there. So I've even started like looking at YouTube videos going, is that it? Is that it? It's so cool. But just do that. Like get into a state where you can be quiet, peaceful. You can do some deep breath work. Deep breath work is so cool. Taylor Kornegay from our Brighter Side program, she's on here today, this part of this episode. And she's going to do some breathwork stuff. Get into that space where you're deep into it and you're connecting all of it to that space, that place. For me, I go where I'm connected with my faith and what God wants for me, and then start putting that vision in there and see what comes up and get it more crystallized in your mind. And the cool thing is often those things will start happening. As I end, I want to share this, and I shared a little bit when I talked to Rebecca, but she is big on believing something before it happens. Like, go ahead and put yourself in that space, but try to do it with everyday moments everywhere, every day, try to do it with something. And so I've been like starting to think about certain things where I'm like, I want this to happen. But the biggest thing you have to do when you're in that space, if you're like, I want to see if this happens. So let's say I want to get 2 new members of the Brighter Side. That was one of them. I was like, I want 2 new members of the Brighter Side. But you have to lose like any expectation of how it will happen and if it will happen the way you think it will happen. And so it's funny, when I thought that, I already had a new member sign up. So I was like, oh, I want 2 more. I want 2 more. But you know what? Somebody came forward. They wanted to join. They joined. They were perfect. And then no one else came. And I was like, okay, you know what? I wanted 2 new members and I got 2 members. How cool is that? So, gosh, it's getting so dark in here. But that was so fun. That's the cool thing about it. And then I will just end on this amazing story. I love this one. And I'm just going to encourage you to do this and get connected with Rebecca, because she's brilliant, and get yourself the journal, because it is an incredible journal. One of the best I think I've ever used. I use it every single day, which I don't do that for a lot of journals. But we had our manifestation mastery week in our class that week, and that we were talking about things. And so Rebecca was like, okay, go out and do something. What are you going to go do today? What are you going to believe in, and see if it will come true? And I was going to go downtown to Brandon Lake, who's a Christian musician. He was doing a pop-up for retail, and he was doing a concert. Well, I really didn't know that much about the concert. I had just gotten emails about the retail. I love merch. I have a problem with merch, concert tees especially, and I want to do our uniforms at the bar. I want to have concert tees. So I'm trying to kind of build up a fun collection, especially music collection. And I love Brandon Lake. So I was like, I'd love to go down there and see that. So during the call, I was like, I'm going to take a picture with Brandon Lake. Now, listen, being in Charleston, I actually have seen Brandon several times. I've seen him out and about. I've said hi to him. He doesn't know me, but like, he's so approachable. He's so nice. So I know I could probably get a picture of him with him at some point. He's at Seacoast a lot. So it wasn't like something impossible to do. And he had been going on Instagram promoting that he would be live sometimes during the day at this place for retail. So I was like, I'm going to go get my picture with Brandon Lake. I'm going to go do it. So I went and picked up Chase, and I was like, Chase, we're going to go down and we're going to get a picture with Brandon Lake. And I had looked, because I saw there's 2 locations. I had looked. We go to the first location. We're running out of time. It's like 15 minutes before the retail closes, and we go in this huge line, and we're standing in line. I see people I know. And they're like, oh, you're going to the concert. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to the concert. I didn't even know the concert was going on. I don't have tickets. In my mind, I was like, oh, I should have manifested I want tickets to the show, which is another story, because I kind of thought about that. I'm like, how cool would that be if I could see the show? That came in my mind. But one of the girls in line said, oh, the retail is down the street in another location. So we were like, oh my gosh, we're never going to get there. And we were like, okay, we're going to drive there, and parking is so bad downtown where we were going. And I said to Chase, if we can get parking close by, then we will go in and look at the merchandise, because we weren't even sure if we're going to buy anything. And literally we pull up to the place, and there is a space in front of the place, like unheard of. Everything else is packed. There's people everywhere, all that space. I was like, oh my gosh. And Chase looks at me so cute. He's like, that's a God thing, Mom. I was like, oh, it really is a God thing. It's so cool. So we go in this space, American Theater. It's such a cool theater. And Brandon is blasting live from the theater. He's not there, but there's videos of his new music. They have merchandise. It's super well done. Like, there's candles, and it just looks like a cool space. And he had been there all day signing autographs, and he clearly had to be at the show. So he was not at this location. And we were there 5 minutes before it closed. And we got our t-shirts, and I looked up at the stage, and I was like, what is this? And I walked over and it was all of these crosses. It was so cool. I loved it. I was like, my gosh, this is so neat. And then we walked to a table next door to it and it had the crosses and it had a story about the crosses. And I was like, oh my gosh. I turned around, I took my phone out and I did a selfie and it is me in front of the crosses and Brandon Lake behind me. And I was like, I got my picture with Brandon Lake. Here it is. Like, how cool is that? Remember, I had to lose what that would look like. So it wasn't with him actually, but it was with him. Right. And then remember how I said in my mind came that I'd love to see this concert, but I didn't really like truly like go out and say it out loud, but in my mind did. So I had a meeting. I went to the meeting. We got home. Chase and I got home. We literally got in and I got a text from Brandon Lake's whatever group and said, we are live on YouTube with our show. Right. Watch it. And I turned it on and it was magical. We watched that entire concert live. I felt like I was right in the front row. It was probably better than any ticket we would have gotten. So there it was. It was like, gosh, I was wanting to watch the show or go to the show. And here I am watching the show. Again, not, not live like you would typically think, but that is the cool thing about manifesting. And that's the cool thing about what we're doing with the homestead is that and even with my businesses, like at this point in my life, I'm just like, I am doing what I feel like I'm called to be doing. I am following it. If something feels wrong, I don't do it. I'm really, really trying to be clear with God on, hey, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I am working towards manifestation with it happening. I'm believing in it. I'm working towards it. I'm doing this stuff and it's happening. And it's happening the way when I lost the expectation, when I lost the stress of how is this going to work and just let it happen, it's happening. And then if it doesn't happen, it happens in a better way. And I always mention Jamie Kern Lima, her book Worthy. I love you, Jamie. Love you so much. But she talks about how if something doesn't happen, it's protection. And that closed door is a protection and for something else greater. So even if something happens and I'm like, oh, I really wanted that, I say to myself, I stop and say, nope, you know what? There's something better. There's something better for me. That was protection from God. I know the next thing that happens will be way better than I can ever imagine. Her whole story is about that. So get the book Worthy. It's so, so good. I will link it in the show notes. I feel like everybody in this planet should read that book. It's so good. So get yourself the journal that Conway has. Who doesn't want to be richer and prettier? I love that. And, believe that you can have everything you want. Get with Rebecca Hogan. She is my girl. She's my soul sister. She was brought to me for such an incredible reason. I cannot wait to keep doing life and business with her. She's a true manifesting just guru. She's so good. So get with her on that and be a part of her world, be a part of my world. Join the brighter side. If you're like, I want to take that big dream or goal of mine and make this happen, get on the wait list because it is opening up soon. This show is brought to you by the Brighter Side Society, an exclusive year-round program for women who are serious about making their big dreams and goals happen. With specialized masterclasses and focused business development, accountability partners, and more, this isn't just another community, it's where ambitious women turn dreams into reality. The waitlist is open for summer, now at sipanddippity.com. I don't need any excitement today because I am with Taylor Kornegay, who is just so incredible, guys. I know I say this every single episode, but I'm telling you, this girl right here has changed my life in so many ways. She's changed my body. I always say body by my girls of the works, and she's one of my girls of the works. But she has changed my mind, and I really credit her for some of the breathwork classes I've taken with her for when I started the brighter side. Because of those classes, I got clarity that I needed. And she is my all-star rock and roll dream member of the brighter side. She is incredible. I want all my members to be Taylor. I want to clone her like 50 times. She is just so good, so good. So, but we are excited to have her today. And Taylor, please tell us about you, who you are, where you are, what you are doing, anything you want to share with us before we get going today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm super stoked to be here. I grew up here in Charleston as an athlete and an actress, and then in
Actress.
my yes, as an
I don't
actress.
know if I knew about that. I love it. Okay, sorry.
So performing has like always been a really big part of my life, and just like connecting with other people has really been really big for me too. And when I was around 19, I went through like this big spiritual awakening journey that was triggered from a traumatic brain injury, which is was really like a big dark night of the soul experience that I went through. And it really just changed me at my core and opened my eyes up to so many things within the spiritual field. I got really into astrology and moving my body. I got really into breath work and meditation. And like those were really the tools that healed me from my brain injury. Like they tried putting me on pharmaceuticals and truly just told me to like drink water. And none of that was healing the emotional like implications that come with having a brain injury. Like you think brain injury and you think like, oh, you probably have a lot of headaches and stuff. It's like I had headaches, but the most painful part of the experience was the emotions that came with it. It
I
just
bet.
was like, it felt like just a very deep depression. And I
Mm.
struggled with so many mental health problems. I had depression, anxiety, panic attacks, substance abuse, like so many things that came with having a brain injury. And everything that my doctors were telling me was truly making me worse and like making me more sick. And I had to like turn inward and be like, what is my spirit like calling me to through this experience? And like that's when I started finding all these holistic things. And astrology was something that really helped me understand myself as I was going through that, and to also see like that what I was going through was something that my soul chose and something that I was going to work through and evolve from. And so now I love to share all these tools that really helped to heal me with like other people. The readings that I give, I just gave an astrology reading right before I got here for this podcast. And it was just like all about like her gifts and like how she's here to
Oh,
shine and really like soul purpose. Like my readings are not about predicting your future. You're going to get married at this age. You're going to have this many kids. Like it's not about that. It's more about your true essence of your soul and what challenges and lessons you might have to work through too as well. There is that duality to it within the readings, but yeah, so I love doing astrology readings. I'm doing those super regularly now. I do one-on-one. I also do like bigger groups, like parties and things like that, which is super fun.
fun.
And some like full moon events where you can come on the beach and get a reading,
Oh,
which is
I love that.
yes, super, super fun. And then I do breath work as well. So breath work is just a really powerful way to, again, like tap in to your soul, to get out of the monkey mind, to get out of the ego, which is like what so much of our suffering in life comes from, is like all of those extra thoughts. It's like
Yes.
what I like to teach a lot of my students is like getting out of your head and like living from your heart space just like makes your life feel like magic, like just makes life feel so good. And we all deserve to feel good. So I love using breath work to not only heal people, but to like elevate people and tap them like into their potential, into their like true selves. So that's kind of what I'm up to. And then also teaching at the works pretty regularly.
I love that. And I know my camera is like gone in and out. I think the rain is pouring here. It never rains really, so it's coming down, but that's
Yeah.
okay. So I might freeze a little bit and we'll cut that out. But they can hear us. Great. And I'm so excited because we are gonna get to experience some of Taylor's magic today and just beautifulness. And I will also say I would never know any of that about you because of the person you are and how you show up every single day. I mean, I'm sure you have bad days. I have bad days, but your energy, your just your zest for life and what you bring and you give for people is so just real and needed and special. And I have suffered from depression too. And I just remember walking into the work so many times in your classes and other people's classes and just going through it, right? And just really like feeling seen and loved and cared for. And it didn't matter what I was going through. And it really has helped me with my journey of getting healed. And I really feel like it is a healing, thing for me. And I've just really love that about you. And I love every time I'm around you because of you're just very special. And to know that you went through what you have gone through and who you have become, you should be so proud because not a lot of, I think a lot of people can get stuck in that victim mindset or this is how it's always going to be for the rest of my life when No, it doesn't have to be that way. You can really change that. So I know you're going to share, and I'm so excited because you just recently launched all of this, and I do want everyone to know about it, regardless of where you live, where you are. So I'd love for, if you want to kind of go through some of the things you do for people and do it with me, that would be so incredible. And then I want to talk more about your biggie dreams and how we can support you.
Amazing. Cool. So we
And then
can
I
just
come
do like
back.
a little bit of breathing, and then I'll touch on like just a couple of like little things from your chart if that sounds good.
Love it. Bring
All
it
right.
on.
So just close your eyes for a moment and just dropping into your body. I'm going to do it with you. And for anybody that's listening, you just want to join in and just starting to take some deep breaths, letting the breath start at your low belly and just letting it travel all the way up to your heart space. Opening the mouth, exhale, releasing that breath. Just really working to energetically open the heart space as you start to let the breath travel up to it. And I really like to think of it as like a flower that's being bloomed. The heart is starting to open and activate. And then letting that breath go all the way from the heart up to the top of the head, to the crown, relaxing the body, softening the body as you breathe. And then connecting just with the heart now. We'll breathe in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in and slowly out. Breathing in a feeling of love into your heart. Slow exhale, feeling that love in your body. Joy into the heart, breathe it in and breathe it out. Gratitude for this life, breathe it in. Slow exhale. Just noticing that shift. So this is a heart-centered breathing that I teach a lot. Getting the heart and the brain on the same page, heart brain coherence, and you can really work to focus on any type of emotion that you really want to call in or cultivate as you do this exercise. It's something you can do in the morning, it's something you can do in the evening, at any point in the day. When you're ready, you can just open your eyes back up. How are you feeling?
Do I have to? I love it. It's so peaceful,
I think breathwork
joyful.
is one of those things that when we think to go to do it, we're like, oh, I don't need to do it. Like, let me just get to the next thing on the to-do list. Like, let me just do the next thing and keep going. Like, I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. And then we start to do it and we're like, oh my gosh, why am I not doing this more? Why
I
am I not
know.
doing this more? Like, that felt so good to just even take just a few minutes. So thank
Oh,
you.
so thank you. That was so great. And how long? I know I had you cut this down because of the length, but how long do your breathwork classes normally go that you offer?
Usually I like to do at least 45 minutes. And then my private sessions are usually an hour. So we will do some slower breathing like that, but I also do some faster, like more holotropic style breathing too, where you can really enter like an altered state of consciousness and a lot of healing can happen and all types of really like beautiful soul work can happen in that space when you let the ego get nice and quiet and you tap into your soul and you enter that altered state of consciousness. Like you can do a lot of like really powerful work. So usually 45 minutes, an hour, and then sometimes I do an hour and a half if you want to do like a really big deep dive. So yes, my
And
website is
like,
dropping like literally over the next few days and all of my
yay.
website. I'm super excited. So yeah, you can find all of that on taylorkornegay.com.
I'm so excited. We'll definitely link it in here. And like I said, I got clarity after going to one of Taylor's, and it was like a abbreviated one because I think Sarah taught right before, and you did a bookend with her. And it was so cool just to have that time, just to completely disconnect, to completely get into my body, to do all the things you kind of walk through. And I just, the visions I had and just the clarity was so amazing. And it regulates you, it gets you grounded, it gets you centered, it gets you back where you need to. And I think in this day and age where there's so much stress and so much worry, and depression and anxiety, like this is the solution. Like you said, it's a healthy, holistic solution. Doctors are, they want to get you in and out. They want to get you on drugs. They want to do all this other thing. They don't want to get to the core. Well, the core is your inside. It's your soul and all of
And
the,
finding a sense of like peace. And I know like meditation can be so hard for people to just like sit down and be quiet and just be still. And I think that like breath work is like the bridge to getting there. It's like if you do a little bit of breathing or even something guided and then you allow yourself to enter into meditation, it's like so much easier, so much more realistic to um, get to that state of like quiet and peace in your mind. So would love to connect with you guys that are listening to teach you a little bit about breath work. And also I teach some classes at the Works Renew doing some breath work right now as well. So feel free to check me out there.
I love it.
Hope that you're
Let's tell me about charts. So I think a lot of people, and I talked to you about this, they think of astrology as just being this really woo-woo thing. And I loved it. I was doing a devotional this week about the stars, and it was so cool. And like, first of all, God made all these things, right? And they are real. All of the things out there that are part of our life are created by this magical thing. So yes, share more about what you discovered about me.
Yeah, so your birth chart is basically a snapshot of the sky at the moment that you took your first breath of life. So basically, the astrology that was happening as you were being born energetically imprints upon you and creates certain energetic signatures that define your personality. Like the moon is how you process emotions, your Mercury sign is how you communicate. If you learn about your Venus sign, you get to understand more about how you are in like love and relationships. When you learn your Mars sign and you start to step into that, it's like you learn how to take action in a more constructive way. Pluto speaks to big lessons that we're learning in this lifetime. So it's just a way to learn about why, like, your soul was like, here's your roadmap for this lifetime as a human. And once you get more clarity on like what that roadmap is and like what you're here to express, you find such a deeper sense of fulfillment. Like when I found my chart and I started stepping into it, I was like, oh, there is my like true self. And like my life
Yes,
just like transformed so much and just like it feels like such an elevation of energy.
I love that. And I
Because
and I always say this on this show. I mean, we're so unique. Every single person is truly unique and made for a specific reason and different from everybody else. So I love that you really dive into all of those pieces. So yes.
yeah, every single chart that I see is just so different. It's mind-blowing. But yeah, okay, so like looking at yours, like the first thing that popped out is like you probably know that you're a Leo sun. Like most people know their sun sign because they like I don't know, I feel like that's the one thing that's like kind of more popularized when it comes to astrology is people know their sun sign, but they usually don't know like the houses and things like that, which is where it like is important to get an astrologer who can like help you with those type of things.
Love
But
that.
your sun is in the 10th house. So it's like really about like and with it being Leo ruled, it's like you're here to be like a leader within your career. You're here to like take charge. And I feel like you're so in your power right now with Brighter Side Society and everything. Like you're so stepping into that role. And like Leo too is like the sign of creativity. It's like being a creative entrepreneur like type of energy, I feel like. And I feel like work is something that is so important to you and something that really like fuels you. You have this placement on your career line where your moon is right on this career line in Virgo. And it just means that like you find a sense of emotional nourishment through working in communities because it's also in the
Mm.
11th house. And the 11th house is about community and social groups and like giving back to humanity and things like that. Like when I saw your chart, I was like,
That's totally me.
that's how it is. Like, especially if I've like already gotten to know someone and we've like, already been friends or something like that. And then I see their chart pop up and I'm like, there's that. And then there's that. And there's that. I was like, she's so in her power with the Brighter Side Society. Like, this is
Oh,
like
I
so
love
on brand
it.
with her chart. And for some people who like haven't done the inner work and who are, working a 9 to 5 that they hate, I see their chart and then I see their life and I'm like, no wonder you're unhappy. You're not stepping into your chart. You're not stepping
Yeah.
into the placements that you're here to express. but I feel like you have like done a lot of healing work in your life. You've, done the work to like grow and evolve and get to know yourself. And so it made sense to see your chart and be like, oh, Angel has stepped into her power. She has stepped into her purpose. So I was like, yes, that's amazing. You're also
I
a
love it. I
strong
feel like I'm blushing. I'm like, so it makes me so happy. And I love that you said that about 9 to 5 and are people not happy with where they are in life. This is another reason why this is so important because you don't want to keep living in that place and to have clarity and to get good direction and to really help you is so important. So I love that. You need to get with Taylor ASAP. If that's you,
Yes.
ASAP.
Everyone deserves to live in joy. If your life does not feel full of joy and magic every single day, something's not, we need to work on something. Whether it's a
Yes.
limiting belief, whether you need to quiet the monkey mind and do some breath work or meditation, or maybe moving your body, or maybe it is like you're in a time of transition and you're like, do I need to change my career? Is something not right with my relationship? It's like, let's look at your chart and see what you need to step into and make that change so that for the most part, like most days of your life feel magical and feel full of joy. I don't think that we should accept the narrative that like life is just supposed to be hard and challenging. We deserve more than that.
Totally. Yes.
So yeah.
So that's amazing. I love that. And so you go, you just for somebody who wants a full reading, they get like a full dive into all of that
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, we usually do like the girl I was just with before the podcast, we took a whole hour to go into all of her placements. So there's
Wow,
all
that's
types of
so cool.
all types of placements. I look at career, how you are in your relationships. It's one of those things where it's like the charts are so complex that I could like do a reading for the whole day on just one person. It
Holy
just goes
cow.
it goes so deep. It goes so deep. So the first time you get a reading, it's like, all right, here's the overview, and then you just keep peeling back the layers over time. I've been studying my own chart for 8 years, and I still am learning more about myself. So it's just a way
I
to
love
empower
that.
yourself and get to know yourself on a deeper level.
Well, I'm booking a whole time with you, Taylor. I need the whole kabang. I'm
Yes, I'm
sorry I
like,
haven't
I need a
yet.
book. You're like, what else
And
here?
so and so for Biggie Dreaming, this is a Biggie dream. I've just seen you not, I remember the day you were thinking about doing this and just seeing you evolve over the last year or so has been so like amazing. And that is what I love doing, right? I love helping people like yourself just get some tools in place and just make it happen, have the accountability and the steps. But what are your biggest Biggie dreams right now that you're working on?
So, working on launching my own podcast. That's something bigger down the
Yay! That's
line.
exciting.
I think my podcast is going to be called The Heart Space. That's
Oh,
something that's so important to me is like living from the heart. So I just want to share more stories. And another biggie dream is my own app for breathwork, meditation. And then looking at the bigger scheme of my life, like I just want my little babies. I just want my babies, and I just want to be so connected to nature and to just be on the beach and being able to travel for fun, but also I just see myself in my mind like traveling, sharing my gifts like all around the world just to help other people. I want to elevate the energy on the planet. I want to help people, heal people, give people the tools that they need to step into their power and just love themselves. That's what we're here
oh
to do.
my
Love
gosh.
ourselves so deeply and share our gifts with the world. So that's
I
what
am
that's
so
what I'm
excited for you, and I can see all of that. It's totally happening. And I love the babies part too, because I had that in my mind. I knew I was going to have kids, and I have the most amazing kids, and I'm so proud. I can't, they're not babies anymore. They're ones graduating from high school this week. Crazy. But it's just so rewarding to see that and my life just keep on evolving. And you will definitely be down in the Caribbean doing some of this down there. I mean, I've already told Sarah we're opening the works down there. We're gonna have a little mini works. So we're gonna keep that going. But yeah, no, you're there. Like you're just gonna, I think, explode and just keep on following that and don't let anything stop you. Keep going into your purpose because that is truly you are made for this 100 million%, and you're doing it. And I can't wait for your podcast. Any way I can help you. I clearly need help on my camera here, but
we can figure it out together.
It's like a little, I was like, it's like a little ghost coming in and out, but it's the rain and my Wi-Fi. I know that's what's going on. How about anything else you want to share about things you're working on? I know you've got your new website. We're excited for that. People can book, they can either do, you mentioned groups, they can book individuals. Who are you really trying to reach and do more of this with?
Yeah, I mean, people that want to do just any type of inner work, people that are here to do deep dives, through breath work, people that are in transitions. If you're feeling kind of lost, a lot of people that I end up doing astrology readings are kind of like in an in-between phase is what I've been noticing. So if you just want more clarity or anything like that, I would love to connect with you. Or if you're in a good place and you want to learn more about yourself, I would love to connect with you as well. But yeah, you can book with me on my website, taylorkornegay.com, and you can find me on Instagram. It's Taylor Storytale. Yeah, follow me on
Um,
there. I'd love to connect with you.
She does a great job, and we'll link all that in the show notes. And go book her right now before she gets so hot and she's on the move and traveling all over the world with her babies. I mean,
Yes, they're coming
you're
too.
you're gonna be like, gosh, I could have had this before she got all the things. So I'm so excited for you, Taylor. I cannot wait just to continue to do life and business with you. Thank you for being a member of my communities, and I want to clone you. So if you are like Taylor, I want you. Come join the brighter side. We're about to open it up again. We'd love to have you. But until we see you again, we'll peace out.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Angel. Mwah.
Mwah. I like and y'all, let's just live out our biggie lives. Let's manifest it. Let's believe it. Let's give life to it. Let's let the bad negative thoughts get the F away. Bring goodness. Bring all of that in us and just make it happen. Make it happen. No more excuses. Life is short. Get it done. Get it done with me. So if you're like me, if you're ambitious, you're ready to do biggie things, you're going to believe like there's nobody's business. B is for believe. We're going to make it happen, y'all. It's going to be happening. So, and as we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. What are you working on? What are your big dreams and goals? What are you manifesting? What can we help manifest? What can we bring life to? What can we pray for? Send it to me. Send me a DM, copy me, post it on your social media. I do believe in the power of showing it, believing in it, doing it publicly, saying, hey, I want this. I'm going for this. I'm believing in this. Help bring life to it. Because if you share it, that's why I always share our wins with the Brighter Side members. Because if you put life into it, if you show it, it happens and it builds momentum and all the things start to happen. And we're leaving biggie. All right, guys, it is clearly about to be pitch dark in my room. I didn't want to turn on a ring light or anything else. I just wanted to talk to you and have just a beautiful night. So let's just keep on manifesting. Next week, y'all, we have two of such the most amazing people. Brian and I talked about them, Tim and Rebecca Lindsay. Tim is at Seacoast Church. He leads the Dream Team there, which is the volunteer core group. They are so amazing. We did their Unstoppable program, which is so good. They have a podcast. They have books. It is a life-changing program for business owners who want to do big things. If I had not done that, I would not be where I am with the Homestead and with all of the things I'm doing now. So highly recommend that. You'll hear more about them, their dreams, and how they tie in with our biggie dreams. And until we see ya, peace out.